Yes.
Mhm.
Hello, welcome to the Bald Bearded Builder. I'm Mike Jolly, and it's a very special day. This is one of our Heroines of JavaScript Sundays, where my 12 and 10-year-old daughters get to interview one of the very cool Heroines of JavaScript. Welcome, everybody. Who's with us? We've got Steampunk Devil. We've got Bobby, I am not myself. Chris Jones is here, Rambling Geek. Frank, welcome. Bonjour, Frank. Surly Dev is here. Chris Jones is here. Thank you for the cheer. Patrick is here. Hype. Welcome, Patrick. For those of you who have been with us any time at all, you know about the Heroines of JavaScript cards because we show them off a lot. And most of you probably remember our interview, it's been 3 or 4 weeks ago, with Jen Looper. Today, we have the very cool, and forgive me because I'm going to do my best to say her name. Let me take a breath. Natalia Tepluhina. Oh, gosh, I'm butchering it every time. It's driving me absolutely batty all day long. I'm doing my best here. I'm gonna nail this at some point today. Tepluhina. Anyway, thanks everybody for joining us. It's been we've been having a blast trying to set up and get ready. We're kind of still hobbled after Windpocalypse a few weeks ago. Source Group, thank you for the subscription. So once we get started, everybody, we probably won't call out follows and subscriptions and cheers and all that during. We're just going to let the girls have their way with the stream today, and I'm just going to sit in the background and try to control some of the AV issues we're having. Stream title is showing Thursday's title. Chris, thank you so much for telling me that. Yeah, I need to fix that real quick. We want everybody to know what we're really doing. We have been heads down and trying to fix some other stuff this morning. And it didn't help that we slept late. And by we, I mean me. And no one can hear it, but my daughter is trolling me right now. Let's see. Thanks for letting me know that, Chris. So that should be updated for us. Awesome. You were convinced you were watching an old video for 5 minutes. You're not. This is a new video. Yes, Frank says, troll on, girl. I wish Twitch prompted you to change it when you go live. Yeah, normally it's in my pre-stream notes to do that, and I have not even looked at my pre-stream notes. I'm lucky to have water and a coffee right now. So, for those of you who don't know, so a few months ago, I was on Robert Table's stream and won a deck of these amazing Heroines of JavaScript cards. Heroines of JavaScript cards were made and sold by View Vixens, which is a group that promotes getting people who identify as women into like technology conferences and helping them learn technology, specifically like with JavaScript and Vue, I think. And these cards, the proceeds of these cards go to the scholarship fund they have. So I won those, was reading through them. It's great because on the back of these, I'm not sure if you can see this on stream, but on the back it has like a little bio of the heroine and some of their information. And I thought, how cool would it be to have my daughters maybe get the chance to talk to some of these ladies? And was so excited that most of them seemed on board to let them talk to them. So we are so excited to have them with us, and this is only our second one. There's 20 of them in the deck, so we're talking about 40 weeks of heroines because we're doing it every other Sunday. So let me, you got a little fox from I'm Marina. Kleinfront, good evening or day. It's day here, but welcome, Kleinfront. We're going to get right to it. So I'm going to introduce our amazing guests today. Let me kick over there. And hopefully this will work. Ladies and gentlemen, the awesome Natalia Tepluhina. I'm so hard. I'm never going to get this right. I'm going to mute my microphone off stream and keep practicing. And then my 12 and 10-year-old daughters, Lauryn and Layla Jolly. Welcome. Welcome.
Hello.
So, I'm going to let you girls kind of take over and ask Natalia all the things you've kind of prepared for her as I work and try to keep her Skype video from jumping around too much. So, girls, take it away.
Okay. So, first question. What made you get into coding?
Oh, it was a really funny thing because I was a very nerdy girl and I liked computer games. It was very old computer games because it was in 1995, like a long time ago. I played some games on my PC. It was X286. Can't believe it was that old. And of course, I wanted to make some games myself because all games were not perfect at all. When I was around like 11, 12 years old, I already decided that I should be a programmer. But it was really interesting because I got an education in computer science. And after this, I wasn't working as a programmer. I was a database administrator for a long time.
Cool. So what is GitLab and what do you do there?
So if we speak very widely, GitLab is nothing more than an open source project to help teams collaborate on software development. By this, I mean we help people to use Git. We help people to host their code. Sometimes we help people to deliver this, to host their applications as well on GitLab pages. But generally speaking, we just help people to code together. And I work there as a front-end developer, which means I'm responsible for a part of the user interface, specifically our web IDE and merge requests. So, working as a front-end there.
Okay. What is your favorite movie?
Oh, again, it will be a very nerdy one because I'm a huge fan of anime, especially Miyazaki movies. And my favorite one is not that one that got an Oscar, but it's Howling Moving Castle. It's a really great movie and I totally recommend to watch it. It's awesome.
So we were looking around Twitter, your Twitter page, and we saw that you give a lot of talks on GraphQL. So could you tell us what GraphQL is?
Yes, sure. So GraphQL basically is a syntax that allows you to fetch data from your server to your client. It's a new one. Previously, we had an old syntax. It was named REST. And they have different. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to share my screen to show them. It's up to Michael. So I will try to do it. If it won't work, just let me know. So let's go to the browser and have a look. So this is, I will make it a bit bigger. This is GitHub API. So and GitHub is a place where you store your code, your projects. And imagine I have myself on GitHub, and I want to know what repositories do I have there. That's why I'm using this endpoint. I'm not sure it's visible, but it's just users, my name, and I have this huge list of stuff, which is totally unreadable because every entry in this list is huge. You can see it. And imagine I only want to see the name of the repository and maybe, I don't know, maybe a URL. But if I have this endpoint, I have a fixed response. I have nothing to do with this. I will always have this huge list of stuff and I need to use it. So it was an old way. It was a REST API. Let's compare to the same GitHub API, but in GraphQL.
So it looks like, Natalia, that your screen is coming through. The girls can see that, but apparently the viewers can't. So anyone who's watching who says, I don't see what they're talking about, so sorry, we're talking about GraphQL. But my girls can see it and they're learning. So let's let them learn.
I will just explain it quickly. For those who can't see the screen right now, you can just Google for GitHub GraphQL Explorer and you will see the same. And here, just for girls, you can see I'm trying to fetch the same user. This is my GitHub login. And I'm fetching my repositories. Let's give it a try. And okay, we have only names. What if I want to see the description? It's easy. Now I have descriptions for every repository I have. What about URLs? Now we have them. So the main thing, I will stop sharing my screen right now. The main thing about GraphQL, why it's cool, why it's new, why it's so hyped around and so many talks about it, is because you can fetch only those things you want to fetch. And it's really easy, very interactive, and it's nice to play with.
Yeah, we've got a lot of friends who are doing streams and using GraphQL right now, so it's very interesting. I've used it just a little bit. The APIs I've been calling historically have been just RESTful APIs, but it's really, really interesting to see that the power. What I love about it is how you can shape the object you're getting back to
Exactly.
really save on that bandwidth. It's really cool stuff. I can't wait to get into it more.
I mean, sometimes backend developers rant about it, but as a front-end dev, I'm totally happy with GraphQL.
Right.
Okay. I think it was on your card. It says that you are on the Vue.js core team.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what that is?
So in the modern front-end world, we have 3 major frameworks. Of course, there are more frameworks, but there is 3 of them. They are called Big 3. It's React, the biggest one, probably the most used one. It's Angular, and it's Vue.js. And there is a group of people who work on Vue.js, who care about development of Vue, about maintaining of Vue, about different issues. And this is Vue.js core team. We're just a group of enthusiasts. We're not paid. It's not a paid work. It's open source. And it's actually core.
Okay. So outside of coding, what are your hobbies?
So first of all, okay, the first hobby is obviously coding because it's open source. But outside of this, I also like traveling. And it's great because I can combine it with conference speaking and I travel really a lot. And the second one is more fancy, it's horse riding.
Out of all the places you visited, what was your favorite and why?
My favorite place wasn't connected to the conference or conference travel. It was just a vacation. And it was a little country in Europe near the Adriatic Sea. It was Montenegro. I've been there 2 times and hopefully I will go there more. It's just great. It's awesome. It combines a great sea views with mountains. It's a very small country, but it has different climate zones and it has absolutely amazing sea. That's why I like it.
But girl, she hasn't been to Alabama, so yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
If you like humidity and heat, we're the place for you.
So, we're getting ready to start high school and middle school. What advice can you give us as we start?
It's a really tough question for me because our educational system are very different. I mean, even Ukrainian system is different from European systems and very different from United States. But like probably the first and the most obvious advice is like follow what you like. If you like something, try to get it no matter what. And another one, if something you like is not in the school curriculum, don't hesitate to dedicate some spare time to learn it yourself, because there are things you can't teach from the school.
I'm starting to learn JavaScript. What would you recommend helping me learn more?
Okay, again, it will be probably an obvious advice, but learning any programming language, including JavaScript, requires building stuff. You can't learn anything just from reading, watching tutorials, reading articles, listening to the courses. It's all great and it helps. It really helps, but you should build something, you should fail, you should struggle to fix it, you should fail again and again, and then when it works, you have this click moment like, okay, now I know it, now I remember it. And I think you should learn JavaScript by building stuff.
So why did you choose JavaScript?
It's a great question. I chose JavaScript and front-end development in general because it feels very interactive. You're building something, you can see it immediately in your browser without compiling step, without anything. You can just see it, you can work with it, and also it's connected with art and design. Because if you're working as a backend developer, if you deal with databases, it's great, it's interesting, but for me, it's a bit boring. With front-end development in JavaScript, you can be fully creative. You can create pieces of art. I mean, there is Sarah Dresner in our Heroines of JavaScript deck, and she is creating pieces of art with SVG animation in JavaScript.
Yeah, girls, I'll make a note to show you some of the stuff that Sarah's done. It is really cool.
Oh yeah, like almost everything Sarah's doing is great.
Yeah, that's true. And actually, Layla was talking about learning JavaScript. I think most of what she's doing right now is drawing. Isn't that right, Layla? Like it's...
Well, I did drawing, and now I'm doing words.
Ooh.
What's words? Explain that to us. Is that like you? Because the other day you walked in my office and you were like, oh, yeah, that's a for loop.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, yeah, yeah. Are you looking it up on your phone?
Yes, I am. It's just... This is an example solution. Don't know if you can see it.
I'm trying. Yeah, I can see it. Wow.
I'm supposed to make something that looks like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. So I know you've been getting into like less of the animation and more of like logical operators like fors and ifs and stuff like that. Very cool. I'm making a note to show you Sarah's stuff.
Okay.
And I really, really hope you can get Sarah for this stream because she's just amazing.
Yeah, we've gotten out of the 20, I think we have scheduled 7 or 8 through August. We're still missing Sarah, and I mentioned this to Jen. I think I messed up when we started. I sent a Twitter DM to all of the heroines I could find and invited them on. And I think after so many of them, Twitter started flagging it as suspicious. So I can't remember who was it that told me. It wasn't Emma. It was. Gosh, I can't remember. Is it Diana?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she told me, hey, just so you know, I clicked on this, I read it, and I'm so interested, but Twitter told me that this was a suspicious message. So, the same thing might have happened with others like Sarah, so I'll probably have to reach out to...
I'll just probably ping Sarah in her DMs and ask her about stream.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. I was thinking I'm going to have to get with Jen and some of you ladies to probably help facilitate that meetup. But yeah, everyone has been super kind, and we certainly appreciate everyone's time, because I know this is, not what you get paid to do, really. But boy, it means a lot, I don't know that the girls really recognize what an opportunity they're having, but as their dad, I sure recognize the opportunities they're being given, and hope, whether they go into code, or Lauryn actually prefers like woodworking stuff, and drawing. You were talking about being interested in anime. She draws anime just incredibly.
Oh, really?
It really blows me away every time I see one of her pictures around the house. So that's right up her alley. And but whatever they decide to pursue long term, all of this feedback they've been getting has just been fantastic. So I really appreciate it, regardless of whether they go into tech or not. Girls, was that all your questions?
Yes, that was it.
That was it.
Yeah, I was kind of fast, probably.
Oh no, we really went through it this time. Wow. Natalia, is there anything that you want to share, or is there something like that's coming up that you'd like to make our any of our viewers aware of? Any events going on?
Oh my God, I think I'm not ready for this question.
Yeah, I know it. We sent you all those questions. I didn't send you that one.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like I'm unprepared.
You know what? Let's give our we're giving away a deck of the Heroines of JavaScript cards, so we can do that real quick. Yes, Surly Dev, woodworking is cool. We're having a lot of fun with that. We actually are about to screen in our back porch and other stuff.
I agree.
So let's get this away. So if you would like to win a deck, look at that. The top card actually has a green background, so it kind of disappears with the green screen. So it looks like these are die-cut cards. They are not. That's funny. So if you would like to win one of these, then just maybe put like a 1 in chat, and we're going to let Natalia pick a random number. She's our random number generator today. It can't get much more random than that, right? Wolfhound Jess wants in on it. Frank wants in. Kulu83, thanks for joining us today. Dare Develops. Let's see. Lannan BR. Thanks for joining us, Lannan. Chris Jones is here. Let's see. Did I get everybody? Kulu, Klein, Surly Dev. I almost left Surly Dev off, and with a name like Surly Dev, I should have just left you off. Wolfhound Jess, Frank, I've got... There, all this land is here. Yeah, is that everybody? Going once? Going twice? Okay, so how many people are on this list? That's not a big list. So we need a random number between 1 and 7.
Okay. Let it be 2.
Number 2. Frank Busheros. You are our lucky winner today. If you haven't caught Frank's Twitch stream, it's absolutely fantastic. Frank, if you will whisper me on Twitch or Twitter, DM or something, your address, we'll get this out in the mail to you tomorrow. Mañana. That's my Alabama Spanish. Awesome. Congratulations, Frank. This deck is on its way to you. It's not die cut. Yeah, it's awesome. Let's see. Did we miss something else? Let's see. I feel like we did.
We could do a Kindle.
We do what?
We could do a candle.
A Kindle? Do you have a Kindle? A candle. Oh, you mean what was the candle of the day?
Yeah.
So Natalia, when we start our streams, one of the first things we normally do is pick a candle to code by. So we have, normally they are not frou-frou candles, nothing like vanilla or cookie or florally scents. They're all very masculine scents like tobacco pipe, wood, shaving cream, mahogany, leather, those kind of scents. We do have fresh balsam and Christmas tree. Those are not really, they're still kind of outdoorsy, I guess. But Layla, so we can't really pick a candle to code by because I didn't wait, and I lit a candle to code by already. So today's candle to code by is warm tobacco pipe. Somebody in chat had a question for you, if you don't mind. Frank actually said, do you have any test framework suggestions? And I assume, Frank, are you talking about JavaScript?
Hopefully.
Yeah. The reason I ask is I know Frank's been using doing a lot of C# on his stream. So, JavaScript, he said. Yeah, JavaScript.
Okay, so my favorite, if you mean unit tests, it's obviously Jest. If we are speaking about integrations and end-to-end, it's Cypress. And ironically, at my job, I need to use not JavaScript end-to-end testing, but Ruby ones. It's RSpec and Capybara. And I won't recommend these. I really hate them.
Yeah, in a lot of chat is also saying Jest and Cypress are great.
Yeah, Jest and Cypress. I think it's like the most optimal one right now.
Yeah, they said, oh no, RSpec.
Yeah, RSpec.
Ruby testing is still around.
Yes, that's still a thing.
Yeah, that's a good question, Frank. Very cool. Well, Natalia, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for inviting me. It was a pleasure to speak.
I really enjoyed it. Girls, can you guys tell Natalia thanks for stopping by?
Thank you.
Thank you for your questions. It was really fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We're going to let you get ready to go to Portugal.
Hey, thanks.
A lot of people we know are traveling today. And, and girls, you can go eat your lunch now and relax. Let your hair down. Great. Thank y'all so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, Natalia.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Was that cool or what? Was that cool or what? That was really neat, wasn't it? That was great. The girls are getting really good with the questions. They had some really good ones this time. I really need to figure out that Skype thing, though. That's really driving me a little batty. SourceGoot, thank you for the cheer. I appreciate that. I think somebody else did earlier, or maybe had done it, and I've got to go back and look. I didn't want to interrupt everybody while they were going. We've got to get that Skype issue fixed. Actually, we had something kind of solved there, and then the Winpocalypse happened where we had to reimplement. Wolfhound Jesse, you can certainly check out the video on demand. It'll be here. We're actually going to highlight them here on Twitch. They stick around a long time, and you can go to thebaldbeardedbuilder.com where we have all of our show notes, and we have replay links to YouTube where you can view each one over again. That'll be up probably later today. Surly Dev, the bot remembers because we are now running this the overlay that powers our little chat things down here. The viewers one's messed up over there. That's interesting. I wonder if I didn't update that. Maybe. Robert Tables, thank you, Robert Tables, for the cheer. You will appreciate this. All of our overlays. You know what? I just realized our chat one. So a lot of these aren't working, I guess. Let's refresh that. Let's refresh this. Let's see if it doesn't start working. Yeah, there come our chat overlays. And I think our remote one was working either, was it? Yeah, so all those should be working. Yeah, Frank, Jen Loopers is actually still... My shirt looks like it's shimmering. Yeah, it does, kind of, doesn't it? That's actually... it's kind of like one of those shirts where the writing is kind of flaky or something. I don't know. Well, you say it remembers. I'll test it for myself. Yeah, well, actually, the new overlays are being powered by our Node.js version of the bot. And they're all running in Docker containers, Robert Tables, with it's all little Node microservices. So they're actually running locally right now, but we're going to load them up to Azure later. Yeah, marquee still working. Yeah, our little emote thing kind of looks a little different there, where the way it bounces around. I know I'm missing stuff. I'm missing stuff. What do you say? Thank you, Natalia. Go on, say her surname. You know you want to be respectful and get it right. Surly Dev, we probably spent 5 minutes before the stream with me trying to get it right. She made me feel really good. She said, it's difficult. She just introduces herself as Natalia because it's so hard to say. The emphasis is on the U, and then not the I, and then the H is actually like kind of a KH. It's like Tepluhina, but that's too much K. Tepluhina. Tepluhina. Jeez. You see the problem here. Yeah. What did I miss? Until you get exposed. Until you got exposed for having a candle lit already, monster. Yeah, sorry, I couldn't wait. Thank you, Lannon. Let's see. You say it remembers. I'll test it for myself. It does. It's remembering pretty well. Yeah, watch the previous one with Jen Frank. She is fantastic. Rambling Geek sent us a link to Skype for content creators. I'll read through that. That's actually the version of Skype that I'm using. Marquee Docker, at least you're not playing a horse every time you're forced to say Node.js. That's true. That's true, Robert Tables. And then I really like the chat overlay. When I have time, I need to change mine to look like that. Do it on stream, Frank. Yeah, well, Frank, you can go copy it from our repo. I think you can do a bang GitHub to get the details on that. And let's see, what time is it? We've only been going for about 40 minutes. Those girls went through those questions like, they had something to do later, like it was on fire. They have nothing to do today. So that's real interesting. We got done with that. Well, heck, we could. Uptime's not working. I haven't added that to the spot yet, Surly Dev. Boy, with only going for 40 minutes, I kind of don't want to end. I want to kind of write some code. You want to write some code? Are you in? There's no points here, Surly Dev. We're all winners here. Except for Skype. Skype was a loser today. You failed a Skype, bouncing around like that. You want to code? Let's see. What do you want to do? Do you want to do some... I have a hard cutoff today. You guys want to work on the Node microservices stuff? You want to do it? I would pull out the particle boards and keep working on our planner box thing, but I don't think I've got time for that, and it's really hard to stop doing that because it's so much stinking fun. Where is that? That's our Skype link from Rambling Geek. Oh, you want to try and fix that too? We could do that. Try Amazon Chime instead of Chime. Yeah, Natalia actually suggested Zoom as well. We've done Discord with Clarkio. Clarkio joined us one time over Discord. So you're ready for next week. So Frank, it's not next week. It's every 2 weeks. So the next one will be... Well, today's the 2nd, so on the 16th. And let's go look at the channel. The channel. Oh, no, I don't want to hear myself. I just want to look at events. The next one is Sierra Vieira. Yeah, who is Sierra Vieira? Bio. Let's read her bio. Sarah is a developer. Is that all there is to her card? Sarah is a developer at Code Sandbox. She's a big GraphQL and open source enthusiast. She is also a well-known conference speaker and describes herself as an airport expert. She's also a drummer. Hey, I play the drums. And is into horror movies. I used to watch a lot of horror movies. Are we twinsies? Yeah, I've thought about. She mentioned Zoom, and I think other people have mentioned Zoom. How do I use Yeah. Why is my video frozen? That doesn't happen. Why does it keep turning off? Yeah, how do I stop the feeds? How do I stop the NDI feeds from changing sizes in OBS? The scale based on network bandwidth is available. To keep a consistent Rambling Geek, you are a genius. Right-click the NDI source. Okay, so let me go in there and look at our Skype. That's weird. It still got like her last picture. I didn't realize I was streaming this, by the way. Let's go to transform, and then edit transform, bounding, scale to inner bounds. Rambling Geek, you genius. You genius. Oops, that's not right. Oh, I did that wrong too. Transform. Close that. I'm on the wrong screen. You know what? Oh gosh. Mike, have you ever streamed before? No, apparently not. It's my first time. It's my first time. Where's the Skype one capture? There it is. So I need to edit. See, transform, edit transform, scale to inner bounds. Holy crap. We have solved it. Man, we're going to be pros at this junk. Okay, you want to see what I'm doing here? That's awesome. Carrie, you made it just in time to write code. Natalia specifically said, I got to get out of here before that Carrie Payette girl shows up because, you know. Okay, we got to do the same thing with theirs. That. Transform. Edit transform. Scale to inner bounds. Holy crap. Rambling Geek, you have saved the day, sir. That's going to be awesome. I'm so thankful that Skype is continuing to show their last image of their feed so I can get the layout right there. Man, we're going to look pro, aren't we? You're going to think like we know what we're doing on this stream. That's completely wrong, but we're going to look like we know exactly what we're doing. That looks great, doesn't it? That's fantastic. Hey, you want to share? I messed up too. So we have spent like the better part of a day yesterday trying to get this stuff looking right. Lurk. So Frank, we've got that. I think we've got that fixed. Oh, let me hit reset here. You are such a troublemaker. Yeah, I'm ready for Zoom. Yeah, Zoom. I've heard people talking about Zoom and like it. I think I Am Not Myself uses it for that. Said he got some good results with Zoom. Yeah, Skype worked well for me last time. Skype. Only problem I've had with Skype is this jumping video. Your Google foo is strong, Rambling Geek. That was awesome. Your duck going binged well this evening. Yeah. Yep, you are trouble. In the empty space on the left, maybe display your desktop. No, Rambling Geek. So I've got plans for that. I'll tell you about it. Or a webcam of the plant waterers watering the plants. Yeah. Or the other caller's video. So okay, the reason this screen is blank is I'm going to show you on my screen deck, I've got different buttons. So depending on who I want to bring up, I can say bring up the host box. And it's supposed to come up like that with a cool effect. Isn't that cool? It's like we're professional. But when you leave this scene, I have to hit a button on Stream Deck to reset everything so that it's ready to go when you come back to it. And I forgot to do that when the stream came on, so it just kind of opened everybody up. So like right now, I could be saying, hey, so first I want to welcome Natalia Tepluhina. I'm sorry, Natalia. Welcome, Natalia. And I could hit the guest 1 button, and Natalia would come up all fancy like that. Oh, it's sick. And then I could say also the very cool Lauryn and Layla Jolly, and hit their button, and bam, they come in like all crazy sick. Isn't that cool? It looks like we're professional. Yes, James, you missed it. The girls were very quick, and Natalia went bang, bang, knocked out every question they had. They crushed it. Oh, if I looked up as it happened? Yeah. Yeah, so you're talking about this area to the left or over here, Rambling Geek. So, of course, this is a faux background back here. I'm still green screening. That's just kind of a picture of my office. That is actually what it probably looks like behind me right now, because I haven't moved anything. But over on this left, my plan is to add text guest question. Okay. And then I'm supposed to, let me open up Notepad because it's the coolest. Save this empty file as text overlays guest question. So, oops, I meant to do that differently. Okay. So the plan is to let me see if I can find their questions. What questions did they ask? I think it's on OneDrive. OneDrive, don't make it bad. So my plan was, as they're asking questions, let me see. I need to set this. Set the font. Okay. I need to go pretty big with the font size. 96 maybe? Okay. Read it from a file. Stream assets. Text overlays. Guest questions.txt. Okay. I need to tell it to wrap. And that font's really big. Should we go even smaller? Maybe a 48? Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, something like that. IO needs to be in the bottom corner. Yeah, that wouldn't be weird at all for someone joining us, right? So have something like that. So as the girls are asking a question, I've got a list of what they're going to ask, so I could just copy and paste their question into the file and hit save, and then have it update on stream like that. What do you think? Wouldn't that be kind of cool? So you kind of know what the question is at the moment? Or what? There's actually going to be a guest window over there in case we have 4. Yeah, so you kind of know what the current question is. Yeah, that was my thought. That way it's not empty. The alerts do come up over there, and I think the sounds do. We got to get all the sound working out. But regardless, I think we've got all that. Boy, just that stinking link find from, I'm going to save that off because I want to put that in the show notes for anybody else who fights that in the future. And open up the world's greatest console, PowerShell. Not ball builder, but what are we going to do? IO. So now here's the catch, though. If I stop IO, all these overlays and stuff will quit working. Let's bring that over. So Robert Tables, I went back and found how to do environment variables in all these little microservices. So all my stuff is saved. So I've got the .env file. In my root folder, I've got the env example like Clarkio does to kind of give you an idea of what that environment file should be. So I've got all these little microservices that are just little Node.js apps. Let's see. You know what? Let's Spotify. You did, Brett. The girls were crazy fast today. And I got to give mad credit to all the heroines. They have been so kind when we reached out to them. All of them, no one has said no. You can catch the replay, Brett. None of them have said no. One of them said, one of them had just had a baby and said, hey, listen, if you're still doing this in July, I'm totally up. But right now, hey, I just had a baby. So I'm like, oh, that's totally understandable. Congratulations. But, hey, we're about to hit July, right? So it's going to be really, they've been great. Is the music too loud, Rambling Geek? Hopefully not. Let's see. What did I miss? You know what? Source Scoop, I missed your sub, and I technically could do that now, but I don't have my guitar with me. It isn't loud enough. Is it not? Really? It seems pretty loud there. Are you saying it's not loud enough because you can still hear me? I knew it. As soon as I read that, I knew what was going on. So Source Scoop, Tuesday stream. I'm going to get you. I thought it was playing on tab. Yes, early dev. Always kind. So our chat service connects to Twitch's chat and calls over, just watches the IRC and is sending that event out to our Socket.io hub. The hub is just sitting right there listening and broadcasting. API is just an API that's local that calls. It's just basically an intermediary between the system, the application, and Twitch's API. So you might call, in that case, I think that one's actually hosted at API. So http://API/users/username, and it's calling over to Twitch's API to get that user's record and send it back. The user service down here is a stateful app. Anything in the system that needs a user, like to put the profile image and stuff all on your chat overlay, it calls the user service. The user service keeps a stateful list of all users it's gotten information for. If it's not in there, it calls over to the API service and says, hey, give me this user. Otherwise, it just feeds back the user it's got. Overlay is exactly what all this stuff is powered by. One that seems to be broken right now is that viewer one. The viewer one down there says 0, and I know we got more than 0. So let's maybe debug that real quick. Viewers HTM has just a title of viewers, which we see there, and a counter that has 0 by default. Viewers JS. Let's go look at Viewers JS. Viewers JS says connect to the socket, to the hub. On viewer count, you'll receive in viewer count, and var counter equals get that counter object, enter text equals viewer count. So let's see. It's nearly snorted your drink through your nose. You deserve to have snorted it through your nose. So here we can see this is actually running in PowerShell with a Docker Compose up. Is the URL correct? So you can see the Rambling Geek, if you'll notice, let me scroll up here. Chat received in Robert Table's Docker there. And just kind of write that out. it called over to the user service to get a user by the name of Robert Tables. The user service is actually returning out. Oh, I've got it listing out that array. I've got to stop it doing that. The user service sends back out that user for Robert Tables. Then the hub got passed a message called Docker with all that stuff, which the overlay service is watching to build that Docker one right there. Right? Let me enter there. So you can see them kind of coming in. There's where we're getting the last follower. On follower count is 248, last follower. So that's all part of the services. Colored output for services is super hot. Yeah, isn't that pretty cool with the little thingamabobbers over there? Music is still loud, or am I just old? I felt like it was loud too, Carrie. So I'm with you. Let's see. I need to get it to quit logging that array of users. I was doing that to debug. We should have seen one on this cron job. Cron is a service that just runs on a timer and constantly tries to update who the last follower is, last subscriber, getting the viewer count, getting the follower count. I'm going to try and scroll up to where I find viewer count coming out of cron is 0. So we're receiving that data wrong in cron. So let's go see where that data comes from in cron. So there's nothing wrong with the overlay. It's getting 0 from cron. Cron's getting 0 from somewhere. So let's go over to the cron service. Oh, let's see. So all cron does is call these 3 methods on startup and then calls them again every 60 seconds. Where's the one for view? Viewer count's right there. So viewer count says the API's URL /stream. That viewer count equals 0. Then we call the URL /stream. If response status is 0, blah, blah. Then record viewer count. So viewer count here is coming out as 0. So something is going up in this section here. I used to expose the API so we can hit it directly, but I don't think I have it exposed right now. But it should be logging it. So if it got viewer count there we go. See, API says route stream was called, but I don't see where. There's the stream information that the API got back. Where's the viewer count property? ID, user name, blah, blah, title. Viewer count 16 at that time. So that's on there. So what's wrong with this? This is it's returning an object. The API is returning this object. Oh, that's our problem. It's just returning an object. I think we're expecting an array. There we go. That should solve us right there. We were expecting an array. And I think we need to do this. Because if you're not streaming, that will not be there. Okay. You know what let's do? We'll just do this live. Do it live! I'm going to stop this service from running. And we're going to Docker compose build. So right now your overlays won't be coming up. So you might want to hold on to your chat. We're going to do a thing. And while that's building, then we'll compose it. It should fire back up because all these little HTML windows didn't change. I'm going like that, but they're actually kind of over there. Tepluhina. Gosh, that drives me crazy. None of that stuff's working right now, because it's we're working on it. We're gonna bring it up, so it'll work in just a second. Starting those up, there they go, firing off like crazy. I need to change that user one too to quit writing out that log. Where's the user one? So as I was debugging yesterday, that env file's in the wrong place. Yeah, move it. Common. No, that's not right. Where's it at? User. Somewhere I had in here where it's logging. Username. it's logging all the users. Yeah, right there. I'm gonna get rid of that. And with that, let me go ahead and just stop it one more time. And build it again to keep that out. Try to jump in before I killed it. Yeah, nice try. Because that kind of clutters up the log when it rips out all the users that it's got stored. Anytime you do a chat, anytime you do anything, it's saving that user, if it doesn't exist, to that list, so it gets big after a while. Okay, so that's a little cleaner. So you can see all those things firing. So different events going. Where's viewer count? Do you see viewer count? That would be in cron. Let's find cron over here. There's a cron. What is that? That's the last subscriber. Followers. Cron. Come here, cron. Viewer count still 0. The API returned this object back to cron. It should be working now, Emily Geek. I think commands does work. So does what else does? Help. I think those are the same. I do have those built. Oh, but now that we've restarted, I bet candle doesn't work. Yeah, so candle. Tobacco pie. Project probably doesn't work either. Yeah. So let's see. Why are we not picking that up right? Let's go back to cron over here. Carrie, is that music level better? Hopefully so. So we're getting that object back from the API. And that's the object we're getting back right there. Then we say if response.data. Oh, well, there is no response.data. I think it's just response. Okay, this is, okay, I see. Maybe this is what we're looking at. I copied this code from our API project, which is similar, but the API talks to Twitch's API, and the data packages come in a little differently. There actually are. Well, you know what, SourceCode? It won't. I literally talked to her for 5 minutes today, trying to say it right, and she was laughing the whole time. She's like, "Listen, no one ever says it right. I normally just introduce myself as Natalia. It's a Ukrainian name, I guess. She's from Kiev." And I just kept butchering it. She was like, you know, the H is pronounced like a KH, but it's like a really soft K. And I kept saying Tepluhina. And she's like, no, there's more emphasis on the U than the I. So it's like Teplu. And the H is like a KH. It's like Tepluhina. But that was a hard K I just said. So it wasn't even Tepluhina. While we were talking, she's like, "Oh, you got it near perfect there," but I never could reproduce it. That one time, I should have just recorded myself that one time, and I could have done it. Let's see, is that running? Oh, we built it. Let's bring it back up. Yeah, I'll never. She was very kind, though. She was very kind. Every one of them we've talked to has been kind. Okay. So let's find cron. There's our that. There's our that. Cron. Viewer count is 20. There we go. On viewer count is 20. So that viewer count down in the bottom left should, unless it's timed out, it should update. I'm going to refresh that little overlay. I need to refresh all of these just to make sure they are connected. Okay. Now that the cron service runs that command to get those numbers again every minute. Oh, we hit it. Perfect. Nailed it. Isn't that cool? So our bot was in C#, but I'm digging this whole kind of microservice-based approach. Now, certainly, the TH is English, just like that for a lot of non-English speakers. At least there in the Netherlands. Most people just say F or S instead. Interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, that KH kind of sound for that H is what throws me off, I think. So yeah, I'm digging this microservice because everything's very, very small. What else do we have to add to it? So we've got most of our commands in chat. So what I did on the chat, so like the basic commands are the ones like website, Twitter, Discord, the ones that just send out a predetermined like piece of text, right? Excuse me. Hey, you know what? I think I just got the coolest email. If this email is what I think it is, I'm gonna be so proud. I've got to say it on stream because yes. So for those of you, does anyone in here who streams use TwitchLib, the C# library? If you do, you may have noticed that there is a RAID notification event and RAID notification arguments. And yeah, you don't, Robert Tables, but in that code, the RAID notification was spelt incorrectly. The class name was spelt incorrectly. So noticing that, I went and did a fork and PR'd correction. So had to do, change the name, but then go and update all the code and the tests associated with that. Got it all working. It's all building. Did a PR back. They switched up like heck, I don't remember what they switched up. You want to go look at it? No, it wasn't that bad. You want to go look at the pull request? The reason I was stoked about it is I just got an email that they merged my PR. So I have officially contributed to TwitchLib. Isn't that cool? I mean, I feel pretty cool about that. That's my first, like, certainly I have contributed to like repositories for Clarkio and stuff like that, but I have never. Whoops! I bumped it and it flipped out, didn't I? What's with my green screen today? Is it because it's so bright? Oh, it doesn't like that white background at all, does it? Oh, I bet my sensitivity is too high. Let me just move it up here so it's not as bad. Okay. Isn't that awesome? That has made my Sunday. I mean, this interview was great. I am so proud of my girls. They did such a great job on their questions. Their questions are getting better. If you look at the questions for Jen versus the questions for Natalia, it's insane what an improvement it is. And they've been working on context. So instead of just asking, what is GraphQL? They let her know, hey, we were looking through your Twitter feed and saw you've been giving a lot of talks on GraphQL. Can you tell us what that is? I thought, what a great job. They did fantastic. Let's see. Nobody actually writes code anymore. Yeah. Can't type anymore. I'll feel your source code. It's getting later over there too. It's time for you to start taking it easy. Okay, so let's look at that pull request. Where's it at? Oh no, it wasn't in like TwitchLib is actually, what was it? Was it the client repository that I did that in? Oh, it's already been merged. That's right. So it won't be in open. It'd be in merged. There it is. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Fix misspelling. Okay. Not much detail as far as this goes. The onRaid notification args class has been has a property named RAID notification. It's the notify K. It's the I and the T were mixed up there. Corrected that spelling during notification. All builds to succeed. They actually made some changes that broke the build, so I had to redo it. And to get the build working, and it was merged 4 minutes ago. So I have officially contributed to an open source project that is used by more than a few streamers. That was a big win. Yeah, you know, Landon, I loved it when Clarkio merged my sound effects into his repository. Who did this? Does Carrie do that? Yeah, Carrie did that. I knew it. Yeah, that was awesome. Carrie, thank you for the cheer. Woot. Put that on LinkedIn. Oh, yeah. Yeah, LinkedIn is a spam source, isn't it? What were we doing? Oh, yeah. So these basic commands, basically I've got this basic commands TypeScript file. You know what's interesting is that, maybe it's because that's up. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's it. Let me open that back up just to help. I don't care where. Maybe. My settings on my green screen are a little screwed up there, I guess. How many attempts did it take you to do that PR? So, Surly Dev, it took me, I don't know what you would call an attempt. So I did the PR, and then all build was succeeding, everything was good. But then apparently they made some changes, and my changes broke that build, you know. So then I had to go in and kind of clean that up. But technically it was just one PR, and but then I had to make some tweaks based on something they had done. So this basic commands just has a bunch of these little functions exported: website command, blog command, GitHub command, Twitter command. They basically just look for a command and write back out. Right? Pretty simple stuff. The set commands are the ones like candle, the ones like project, where you need to be a mod to change them, and they need to persist whatever value we set there, like the candle and the project. But we do need one. We removed the uptime command. We haven't added that. None of our sound commands work. We don't have that working. I don't even remember what all commands we had. What commands did we have? We had... I know we had the sound ones. And I know we had uptime. Sweet mother McCready. Delete dumpster and clone again, or is that just me? Delete dumpster fire and clone again, or that's me. What's the dumpster fire, Brett? Oh, on the when they made the change that broke my version? It wasn't bad. I just merged their dev branch, I think it's called, into my branch, and then there were some build errors, but it wasn't anything major. It was just things that they used using the old they had made some changes that some additions that referenced that class that I had changed the name of. So I just had to go change their new code to reference the new class name. Uptime, the sound events, is that it? Shoutout works, I think. Let's see. Yeah, shout out to Robert Tables, giving us a lot of help today. The world's greatest mod. Yeah, so shout out's working. So I guess just uptime. Delete dumpster fire and clone again. I've done that before, Brett, but I didn't have to in this case. But one thing I do is I normally say for our repositories, vnext is the branch that we all do our development now against. But at work, it's develop. So I just make a point when I start a project in the morning. I do a pull. If I've got a branch I'm working on, I pull develop into it every day, just to make sure, just kind of keep it where it's not like I get a week into this and then have to go through all of that, because that's when it gets hairy. The longer you go. Oh, Carrie, you gotta change this theme. It's screwing up my theme. Random. Here we go. Abyss. It's messing up my green screen, which I need to make a note of that to fix that. My little setting there is wrong. Note appropriately made. There's a 3-headed monkey coming at some point. Oh, hot dog stand. Brandon, we haven't added that. Oh, we haven't added the shame for that. That was in our bot, not our... Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. See, 3-headed monkey showed up as the last follower. Thank you for the follower. Thank you for the follower. Words is hard. Thank you for the follow, 3-headed monkey. No, there comes Stream Elements. I'm going to replace that. We're getting rid of Stream Elements or Streamlabs or whatever that is. It's so late every time. Our bot picks it up before they do, and we're actually going to have I.O. do that. We're going to record I.O. doing stuff and just play that. Theme Dracula. Thank you, Source Code. That's the one I usually use day to day. So let's do this. Let's go to the hub of Git, to the IO repository, and I need to kind of just make a log. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. The only thing that's not handled by my bot, Robert Tables, is those Streamlabs alerts, and they're so late sometimes. They don't come sometimes. That I'm just not gonna do it anymore. Where's the face? No, that's not me. Capture face green screen. Filters. Let's see how this says. I'm gonna blow that back up again. Let's see if we can't fix this and do it live. Heck yeah, we can. Oh man, it's almost like we know what we're doing. Spoiler alert, we don't. Awesome, that looks a lot better, doesn't it? Okay, so what if we use a dark background? Perfect. Mic is still flipping out a little bit. Did that solve the problem with the mic right there? That got us. There's a light background. There's a dark. There's a light. There's a dark. I think that cured what else is. Man, we so fancy. The more I watch streams, the more I think I should find time to stream, let alone any of this flashy things. You know what? None of this is required, Brett. You know, you really don't even have to have a camera. You don't even have to record yourself. You just show your screen. Part of the fun of streaming for me is learning this kind of stuff. It's fun to make these little videos. Patrick, I've often said that a streamer making their own bot is kind of like a Jedi making their own lightsaber. It just kind of seems to happen. Yeah, hot dog stand is good, and I think it worked the first time. The space doesn't work. But so let's add in some issues here. We need to add the theme changing shame effect. Themes to shame for. Definitely hot dog stand. I think I want to do, what was the other one? Lasers? That should be shame too. Should be ashamed of yourselves. Red's pretty bad too. I'm gonna do red. Okay. Then we need to add the upstream chat command. Filling these in later. Wasn't there another one? Upstream. Did that work? Yeah, it worked. That's pretty bad. That one looks more like a hot dog to me. It's got some mustard in there. Little relish on the strings and properties. What else did we say? How dare you want to change this beautiful layout? I'm sorry. Okay, I may take that one off. What else is there? We said uptime. Our sound clips, right? Add chat commands for sound bites. Yeah, Themer's working, Patrick. But that's not part of our chat bot. The shame part of it is the chat bot was watching for the shame. Oh, too much water. About choked myself. Let's see. What else is there? We gas candle. Was that all the commands we had? There was, hey, let me tell you what, since it's just kind of like our crew here today, the ones who are like normally here, I'll let you in on a secret. So we've talked about how we're going to lose some pre-recorded videos of IO doing stuff, just funny stuff, like maybe for a follow, we'll have like 5 or 6 videos, little clips of him doing something funny about the new follower. And then when we have a new follower, we will randomly choose one of those 5 or 6 clips to play. Yeah, this is secrets, Carrie. Same thing when we have a new subscriber. Same thing for cheers. We'll have 5 or 6 videos pre-recorded for each of those different events, or raid, all those sorts of things. So one of the things we're going to add is a command, bang naked. And basically, when you do that, it's going to set a flag in the chat bot. And all those videos that I pre-record with IO, like the 5 or 6 for follower, I'm going to record those videos, and then I'm going to record those same 5 or 6 videos again without the puppet. So what you would see is, like, you might see IO like coming across the screen and doing something, but then I'm going to record that same video without the puppet on my arm. So it's just my hand going across, right? So like if somebody does a bang naked, then the next time it's supposed to play an alert, you'll just see my hand going across and talking, but I'll keep playing the same audio, so it'll still be IO's voice, but whatever he's doing will just be the hand. So naked, get it? IO sneak peeks. Yeah, hey Lauren. Lauren's in the chat. She went and joined us on chat. Carrie, thank you for the cheers. Cheers. Okay, I don't have much longer. I've got 40 minutes. Was that it? Just the chat commands for sound bites, the upstream, the shame effect. Oh, and then I want a feature to be able to add. Yeah, thank you, Patrick. That was a great job today, Lauren Jolly. You did fantastic. You and Layla both. Or that may be Layla on Lauren's account. Which one are you? Which kid are you? Are you the blonde or the brown-headed one? The taller or the shorter one? The artist or the I see that. I don't know. You're both kind of artists. Take that back. It's Lauren. Yeah, you did a great job today, Lauren. So another feature I want to add is the ability to vote for a candle to code by. So I'll just be able to enter in advance all the candles that are options. Invisible should be there too. Just eyes going across the screen. Parathon, that's a really good idea. That's a great idea. Add a bang naked command for IO alerts. We'll play the recording of IO with just my hands and audio with no puppet. And then we'll do Parathon. That was a fantastic idea. Add bang. What was it? Invisible? How did I word the other one? Yeah. For IO alerts. That's a great idea. We'll play the recording of IO with green screen filter. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, let me see. Only all contributors. That's a great idea. Please add Parathon. Because he apparently wants to be a contributor on every single repo on GitHub. Kidding. For ideas. I'm not sure I've got all contributors set up on this repository. Oh, I do. I've just never had to do it because no one's really contributed to this one. That is so sick. That's a great idea. And also, Layla, some advice. As much as your dad hypes up these amazing women being interviewed, you are equally important. Be confident in knowing that. Don't be afraid to ask follow-up questions. It's your show for that time slot. That's true. Yeah, I've spent so much time trying to tell them things like, hey, think about context, think about blah blah. Yeah. That's probably the next thing we need to work on is, hey, you take control. If you hear her say something that is interesting or you relate to, talk about it, yo. Talk about it. Like when she, a great example, Lauren, is when she mentioned Patrick, nobody looks at this repo, is when she talked about anime and really liking anime. You are fantastic at drawing anime drawings. If you wanted to bring me some of those drawings to show on screen, I'd love to show them off. I know, that's dad mode invoked. I activated dad mode there, proud dad mode, but label them as secret. I'm not critiquing previous. Yeah, no, that's not. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I think, Robert. I've been thinking about that all week, but I was so focused on showing them how to use context in the questions and not just what is GraphQL that I didn't have time to kind of reinforce that. So that's the project for the next 2 weeks. They are getting really good. They're getting every interview's such an improvement from Jen Looper's interview to Natalia's that what are they going to do if they get better? Yeah. Maybe label them as secret. Yeah, that'll keep them out. Let's see. Is that all we want to do there? Invisible, naked. So which one do we want to work on? We've got about a half hour. Which one you guys want to work on? Guys and gals. Remember, I'm from Alabama, so if I say guys, I mean all y'all. Oh, Frank, if you're still here, Frank, don't forget to send me your mailing address so I can send these cards out to you. I'm actually going tomorrow because I got to mail Ancient Coder hers as well. Yes, doesn't work very well. Top secret. Those don't work. Twitter DM would work. Discord, you could send me a message in Discord too. Any of those. Okay, that reminds me, I need to get the 2 packs together to send. That's so cool that it does kind of look like they're die-cut cards. They don't now that I've changed the green screen settings. But which ones do we want to work on? Do we want to work on? We can't really do invisible and naked commands because they're we haven't recorded those. But we can do the chat commands for the sound bites. We can do the upstream. We can add the shame. We don't have time for Candle to Code by. Anybody? Bueller. Nobody? What's for dinner? I don't know. Probably chicken and some vegetables. Okay, well I get to pick then. Nobody's going to pick which one we're going to work on. Go for sound bites? Okay, sound bites is a good one because we can use some of that logic for the theme shaming effect too, because it needs to play a sound effect. So the chat command for that, yeah, hey Ashish. So let's do a new file. We'll call it audio commands. Or should we call it AV commands? Okay. And let's that's interesting, Patrick. That's a neat way of thinking of that. Let's see, export soundbite command equals. This Abyss theme is kind of hard to read, other than PowerShell ISE, Carrie. Anybody want to change it to something else? It's a little dark. It's really not dark like on stream. I think you guys can see it fairly well. The problem is right above this monitor in front of me are the two lights. And, oh, that's a good one right there. I can read that one really well. So that's the only problem with the theme. The theme changing thing stuff doesn't really bother me, but it's the lights right above it that make it hard to read if it's up towards, if it's towards the top of the screen. Words is hard. Yeah, come on in. If you're so funny. Lauren's out. Text. She's outside the door asking me if she can come in. Where are you coming in? Where are you at? What side you coming? Oh, you want to see? You want to see Lauren's artwork?
I'm a Stitch.
Is this?
Fan.
This is. Is that Stitch? Is that what that one's name?
Stitch.
So this, you guys want to see Lauren's artwork? She is fantastic. She's a big fan of. Is it Lilo and Stitch? Lilo and Stitch. You want to see it? It's so nice to see your face light up with PowerShell ISE. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So this one's called Stitch. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. That's Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. Am I holding it right?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
I have another one down there.
Oh, this one's even better. Oh my gosh, Lauren. There was a Stitch holding a duck.
Yeah.
This would be a great one for Talk to Me Gooseman. Look at that. My daughter is talented, y'all. That is so stinking awesome. Isn't that awesome? This is a mermaid?
Yeah, that's just a sketch.
Yeah, she's just doing a sketch of a mermaid here. Can you see it all? Back it up a bit. Yeah, they're all like going, oh wow, nice. Watch Lilo and Stitch. Carrie loves.
There's nothing else.
They're cool. Huh? Oh, that's all of them.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't.
Let me just see them. Let me see. I didn't say I'm
Well,
showing them.
there's
I
a
just want
couple
to. Oh, those are good.
There's a couple of them right there from Nana's house.
Yeah. What is that? Is that like apple? That's tomatoes or something?
Something. It's something.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
They're kind of bad.
I said OD. You're not D. You're Lauren. Stingray.
These are all old ones.
Yeah, Rose. Man, these are sick, Lauren. You don't have any anime ones in there, though.
No.
Those Lilo and Stitch ones are crazy cool. You did good. I love you.
Love you too.
See you later, girl.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Hashtag proud daddy. That was really, yeah. I think she's really good at this business. Okay, let's do some code real quick because we're running out of time. Sound bite. We're gonna need at least the message coming in, which is gonna be a string. We need a function. How did we call that? Let's just set it up similar to how we did these other methods. Yeah. Okay. So, gosh, that's really hard to read. Twitch message. Ramley Geek, thank you for the cheer. Lauren, thanks for showing off your art and getting us a cheer. Draw some more, girl. Draw some more. We're gonna be rich. Rich, I tell you. So that Twitch chat function is a function on our Twitch chat class that allows us to send out more. Allows us to send a message to chat. We just have to pass in the message we want to send. More for the art. Get that kid some Prismacolors. Oh yeah, Carrie, thank you for the cheer. That's awesome. Yeah, they are really talented, and my mom is a really talented. I don't know what you'd call it, artist, I guess. And she gets it from her Nana. And Lauren, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I think when you go visit Nana, you guys will work on that kind of stuff. Robert Tables, I've been working on a little Amazon wish list for you. I have. Mostly it's IoT hardware, but I love the idea of putting that stuff on there for the girls. You just made my heart swell up so big, Robert Tables. That's such a fantastic idea that the girls might could get something like that out of it. Man, that just... Yeah, Robert Tables, you brought a tear to my eye there. Put myself together. Pick myself together. Whew, man. Sorry. Proud of those girls. Let's see. Man, seriously, my eyes are watering now. I'm not going to get any of this work done. Dang it. So, yeah, it's really easy. I've got a wish list put together. I need to put some stuff like that in there for them, or create one just for them. Man, that's... Oh, jeez. So the message that comes in here is the message that comes in from chat. And then this is a method. I'll show you how we're calling this. In our chat method, well, first of all, that's AV commands. So in my little barrel file index, I'm going import all as AV commands from AV commands. And then I'm exporting all those in that. So then in my Twitch chat file, up here on top, I'm importing those from those commands. And then down here, when I'm like processing the chat message, somewhere in here, I go through, and for each of those commands in that barrel of basic commands, I call that command with the message we got and a method called this chat send chat message, which you can see just writes out to chat what the message is, so that we can send that message from inside there. Yeah, you made me cry. Jeez. We can do it. Your community loves you, and you're feeling so much. I respect the heck out of you, and I want to do this. Yeah, you guys, I really respect and appreciate all of y'all. There aren't words to tell you how much I look forward to every stream when we get to hang out together. I may have been an earlier streamer, but the students have surpassed the teacher, and now he's learning. Oh, no. We have not surpassed the teacher. It's we're all walking hand in hand here, yeah? And my embarrassed daughter throws out the derp emote. That's the way it goes. So basically, I have this handled by command Boolean that's set to false. So we're doing we're working on our chat bot. Is it El Cabeza? I probably said that wrong. Tell me how to say your name correctly. I want to say it correctly. We are not programming. What are we programming? We're programming our chat bot, adding some commands to it. All the things you see here, the overlays for chat. If you do emotes, they dance around. All this kind of stuff. So we're doing Node, more or less. I'm in the same ballpark. We didn't do project. Well, you know what? We've restarted the bot so many times now, Patrick, that it's forgetting the things. So we're adding some audio commands to our chat. So basically, in those barrel rows of basic commands and set commands, all those little commands return a Boolean. And if that method handled the message, like it found a website and did something with it and sent a message, it would apply true, so that we stop trying to process any other commands on that message. So if it does, it breaks that, handled by command. And if we haven't handled it by here, we try to go through each of the set commands. And if it hasn't have by there, we'll go through all of the AV commands. For each AV command, we'll call AV command. But not user. We're going to send in that. Perfect. Perfecto, my. Perfecto. So I think that's all we'll need right now. Oh, I didn't put a little flash out here, did I? It's funny that it still builds okay. Maybe they should have saved out and read back in. Wait. No worries, figured it would be easy. Yeah, Patrick, that command actually is working. So if we did project will return nothing, but we're working on our Node.js microservice chatbot. So now it's saved, so if you do that command, it'll work. And actually, we'll go ahead and put in candle too. Candle warm tobacco pipe. And let me tell you, this thing, I won't go ahead and blow it out now, but it smells great today. Oh, that smoke when I blew it out wasn't great. That was pretty strong. So we're going to handle all those. So, all right. So we've got chat ready for this. Now we just have to actually do something. So, the catch here is, where are you throwing that at me? Oh. Return false, just to clear up some stuff right now. The thing about this is all those audio files are in our overlay service. That's where it's going to get tricky, because over in our overlay service, we have an assets folder with the audio clips. And there's Applause, Benny Hill, Can't Touch This, all the ones you know and love. Sub, Who Cares? I think our full stack is in there. Yeah, all those MP3s are in there. The problem with that is our chat service, which is going to be the one firing off events to play those, doesn't know what those available files are. So how can we get around that? Thoughts? Anyone? Thoughts? So the way this worked when we wrote this chatbot in C# is we looked in a specific folder. We were able to, all of it was not a microservice, right? It was all one app. So it was able to actually look into that folder, see all of the MP3s in there, and then based on those MP3s, just grab their names and turn their names into commands. So you could do like, in the case of those overlays, like applause. Remember we had bang applause. So it would just strip off the MP3. It knew every file was going to have to be an MP3. Kulu83. If I said that wrong, let me know. But thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. You can do several commands already. You can do bang help, and it'll tell you what you can do. You can also do bang theme list. Is that right? Bang theme space list, and it'll send you a list, a whisper of a list of themes in my Visual Studio Code up here. And then you can do bang theme random or bang theme and the name of a theme, and it'll change my Visual Studio Code theme to it. And you are safe. You will not be shamed for any choices now, even no matter how horrific they may be. because we haven't worked on that yet. So the problem, so C# got around that bot got around it because it could read into that folder, get the list of files in there, strip off the .mp3s, and turn those, into magical commands. But in this case, all those assets are in a different folder. They're in a different application. They're actually, all of these little services. Yeah, you can, but here's the catch, Source Scoop. Each one of these little folders here, API, chat, cron, hub, overlay, and user, those are all separate Docker Node.js. They're Node.js microservices running in Docker containers. So each one of those represent a different container. This IO down at the bottom is just kind of like the root directory. So inside of source, you'll see all those services. So the IO folder just basically has like the README and the Docker Compose, contributing, all that kind of stuff. So the problem is when this is running, chat is going to be its own Docker container running, and overlay is going to be its own Docker container running. So chat won't have access to overlays files unless we put them in some kind of volume or something. A specific container for sound effects. So what I'm wondering is if we could make a volume with the sound effects in it. Does code call to an API have the API read the folder and then just call the API? Does code call, do you mean like, what are you calling code there, Patrick? So there is an API service, but that service just is an intermediary between this whole application and yeah, I think is it Andreas? I think the volume is the only way to go there. Or it's the only way I can think of. I mean, there's other ways. So what, Patrick, is what you're saying, like in that overlay service, which knows about the files, could it, on startup, read those files and publish those to some other service somewhere that the chat service can read from and know? That's what you're probably saying? It's doable. So technically, yes. Technically, overlay could read those files on startup, publish them out somewhere, and then the chat service call and get it. That is possible. I think, though, the volumes may be a better... Well, the problem with the volume, and if Robert Tables is still here, the only thing I don't like about the volume idea is because that kind of breaks that whole microservice structure, right? So that we could bring down and bring up any of these at a time. If those two are so dependent on how that, I'm not sure the word. Patrick, I have more than 0, but I'm not crazy experienced. This stinking Docker Compose down here is the most advanced Docker Compose I've ever done. Docker brings him back. Yeah. Our friendly Twitch Beetlejuice, right? So that Docker, I don't know how I get around it without a volume. I guess if you were keeping it as a microservice kind of thing, where each one is kind of independent, you might want to publish it to like some kind of stateful service that keeps up with those. The volume is independent of the container running. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it is. You're right. How could we do that? So this is actually running right now. It's what's powering all these little overlays down here for follower, subscriber, viewers, follower count. It's what's powering our chat overlays over here. If you put in some emotes to your chat, that's what's powering the overlay that makes them kind of dance around for a minute. Yeah, this app is literally running right now, Ashish. we've replaced our C# chatbot, which did all this already, with this service. So you can see here where we're recording out all kinds of data. There's our chat, there's our user, there's the hub, there's the API, there's the cron. They're all firing and doing stuff. So yeah, the last thing you said there was awesome, right? So there's our chat. It said, she said, this is cool. Just kind of record that message again. Because you said that, it's going to find your user record, which is cached in the user service. So there's our user service saying, hey, somebody called me at user's username with the Ashish username there. And it sent back your user record from Twitch. It's cached, so it didn't have to call out to the API. That's why you don't see any API fires here. And then that chat service got back that payload from the user service and then published it up on the hub. And the hub is just saying, hey, I received an on-chat message, and that was the message I got. So you said, oh my there. If I hit enter, you'll see the same kind of stuff happen with oh my from the hub, same kind of stuff. At the same time, the cron job fired and went and got the viewer count. It went and got the last follower. It got the current follower count. Down here somewhere, it went and got the last subscriber and then broadcasted that out to the hub too. The overlays down here, just HTML pages that have some JavaScript that are subscribing to that Socket.io hub and updating the little overlays with that. So it's all running. Oh, how do we want to go about this? So if I do a volume, here's the only holdup. Is it Andre or Andreas? Hopefully it's Andreas, because that's what I want to say. Yeah, this is all running on my local machine right now. Man, I got a headache. This is all on my local machine right now, but I don't want it to be necessarily. I want it to maybe run up in Azure. So the plan was to get all this working and then put together a Kubernetes file and publish it out through Azure Dev Pipelines out to publishing it to our like a Kubernetes instance out there, an AKS instance. So I'm trying to think of how that would work as far as the volumes. Where would we keep? Like right now, I could set up a volume. I don't have a lot of experience with that. Trickery is trying. Yeah. So yeah. Yes, I could. Yeah, you're right. So Robert Tables, now that you're back, we're going to pose this question to you. So the problem we're going to have with these sound bites is in C#, it would fire up and read all of the sound files from this clips folder. It would read all these files out and create commands basically based off their names, like applause, bang applause. The problem here is in our chat service, it's a different container, right? So it doesn't have access to that file structure. So it's been kind of mentioned, hey, maybe we need to create a volume to store those audio files onto that overlay can read in and that chat can read into. Yeah. Mount those files into that with Compose. Yeah, I hear you. I hear the words that are coming out of your mouth, but I don't have a lot of experience with that. So we'll try to work on that. We're not going to finish this today for sure, but let's see if we can get it working. So if you look at this, we've got the API service that just serves out. Digital Drama J, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Join in, help us out, pair program with us. The hub is exposed on 5060 just so that the overlay HTML pages can connect as clients. Chat is not exposed. Overlay is exposed on 5000. So all those little overlays down here are doing that. Yeah, user, that's not exposed. Cron is not exposed. API used to be exposed while I was testing it, but it's not. So let's look this up. Let's look it up. Docker compose volumes. I did something like this on that project we looked at with Angular 2 running on Raspberry Pi, the little kiosk thing we did. But we didn't use Docker Compose for that, I don't believe. Let me go look at that. Maybe I can plagiarize. Sweet mother macaroni. I'm going to go look in that folder and see what I had there. I think it was just a Docker file. Oh no, we set that up in Azure. It's deployed as an Azure. And commit push what you do today, and I can turn it up. Yeah. I will commit those. I always commit. I always commit my work. Docker Compose volumes. Can you guys see that? Let me zoom in. I wish there was a way to hide like these sidebars. Here's your ref off of the word. Yeah, that's right. I think that's where I'm at, right? Yeah. We there. Hey, I've been all about this page. So there's his there. Volumes, my data, and DB data. DB data needs to go be called that. Okay. Is that the long syntax or the short syntax? Just specify a path and let the engine create a volume. Specify an absolute path. Yeah. You can create a shared volume and give it a name, or for each service you can do the mount manually. No, I'm going to do the latter for clarity. So here's the question I have, though. So assuming that I come in here and say, am I on the right level there? Yeah. Volumes. And say, what was that directory called? Let's just call it assets, because we'll want to be able to look at. We'll probably add a folder for videos in there as well. If you scroll to the part where they say short syntax, the commands in that code. Okay. So okay. So here's the question, Robert Tables. The short syntax. So just specify the path and let it create it. Okay. I actually like the idea of giving it a name. So like data volume : something like that. I think that's cool. The question is, in this case, it's like var lib mysql. Where does that var lib mysql live? Is that the host directory? A directory on the host? I think that's how we do it for that project inside the container. Oh, jeez, my freaking head. Outside, inside. Yeah, so the sweet mother, my head. Outside, inside, same as port mapping. I hear the words that are coming out of your mouth. Host volume, inside directory. Okay. Rosnovsky, welcome. Thank you for the follow. Join in our conversation. We're doing some Docker work for the, well, crap, not long. I'm supposed to be ending right now because I've got so much to be in an hour. But this is the problem with this, is it's so much fun, it's hard to put it down. Welcome, thank you for the follow again. So I guess that's what I'm just not understanding something about this. I mean, I get that that's the outside, right? Create a way to register dynamic commands with the chat service from other services. Create a way to register dynamic commands with the chat service from other services. Oh. That's interesting, Parathon. Host volume can be of two types. One, we can specify the other Docker. Where is my MP3s? Robert Tables? Bobby Tables, where is my MP3s? Because in this case, my MP3s lives inside that overlay container. The root where the Docker Compose is. So okay, so at the root, I might want to move that assets down there. Dig it. I dig it. Okay. So let's bring up PowerShell so I can get in there. I added a new alias because I got tired of typing Explorer, so I can dot to open up Explorer. So if I wanted to come into that overlay, get assets, and bring it back out here, perfecto. And then I could say outside, inside, I could say assets, right? That's all I need there, according to that short. I need a slash, I guess, slash assets. But if I wanted to give it a name, can I just call it like assets colon? And then maybe up in overlay, I need to do volumes. And then I kind of move that over so I can see volumes, and say, oops, type volume, source assets, target, root. Actually, it would be the from the Docker file. Is that the start by just doing the volume inside your individual services first? You can do the relative paths. Okay. Your natural root is where the Docker file. Yeah. Yep. You can do relative paths in Docker Compose to get to all your stuff, but the native root is where the Docker Compose lives. Don't worry about the outside volume declaration. Start by doing the volumes inside your individual service, line 27. I don't think I have that on, do I? I need to connect that. Ah, crap, it ain't gonna work with that now. Just declare the volume and the outside-inside mapping right there, okay? So, where were I? So source would be, this is relative, right? This is relative to this, so slash assets. 2, is target relative to the Docker Compose, or is it target relative to that container? Okay. Okay, so is that relative to the container, the Docker file, or is that, it's gonna be relative to the Docker file, right? Let me go back into that. I clicked you, open up. User app. User app. You see what I'm saying there? So forget that. Everything is relative to the Docker Compose file. So assets : then in that case I want where is that? It's source overlay source dub root. So if I want it to be the assets file, if I wanted an assets folder under www root, do I need to do assets like that? Huh? So no, just www root. So then www root would have an assets under it. Is it going to retain that assets name, or is it going to be putting my junk in there? Let's see. I think we need to do it like that. It's my first guess. Okay, so if I've got that, then I need to copy that up into chat too, right? But in this case, I don't want it there. I'm just going to put, I think it's put it in the root, right? Doesn't matter where I put it. So this is going to be source chat. Source. I don't have a root here. Just assets. That's fine. Yeah, I think you need assets. I think I do too. That would make more sense. Okay, so if I do that, then my web overlays should have no problem finding those files in the same place they were at before. And then my chat overlay, my chat service has access to those folders so I can read into it. Bam! Bam! Yeah. I'm digging this. So I tell you what, we've made that change. I'm going to comment this out for a minute, just so I'm going to bring it down, bring down the bot, so the overlays will go right. No, I appreciate all help. Let's Docker Compose build. You know what? I never created aliases for Docker Compose. I need to do that. Like a DC alias or something. I'm out of water. Deja vu all over again. This is stinking fun though. It's ticked about something. What you ticked about? Oh. I think it'll fail that though. I think it needs that command. I swear there was a similar streamer I said exactly. I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert in any of this. I'm kind of like a jack of all. What is it? Jack of all trades, master of none. TypeScript. Winning. Okay. Let's bring it up. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. What was that? Did you see that, Robert Tibbles? It said, "Do you want to share it?" I said yes. But it's kind of froze up on recreating the overlay in the chat. Source scoot. I see what you did there. Docker wants to access drive D. Do you want to share it? Share it. Docker wants to access drive D. Do you want to share it? Share it. For the love of Pete. Yeah, but I mean, I said share it. So what's taking so long here? Let's get on with it. That's so funny, Landon. Let's go. Is there settings here? Go settings. Leave it off in case there's anything I don't want to do. Share drives. Yeah, share. Share. Go down. Share away, my friend. Need credentials. Well, that, my friend, you can't have. Okay. Let's try it now. I have specifically already shared those two drives. Okay, so now we're getting errors. Cannot create container for service overlay. Invalid volume specification. Host mount sources Michael Jolly IO assets colon. How about invalid mount? IO does have an assets, right? So what? Why I not like that, Robert Tables? You're supposed to be the master. Ah, you know what? Is that what you're talking about? Let's try that. Oh, man. We'll give it a go. Ooh. Holy sweet mother. Started doing something. Knight Rider again. What was Knight Rider again? That looks like it's working. Let's see. Let me go. I'm going to go refresh the chat. The chat seems to still be working just fine. I'm going to refresh it just to make it new. So then, Robert Tables, if you will chat, or Carrie, if you're still here, okay. So it clearly worked because that SVG for your shield right there on top of your chat bubble over there, that's coming in from that same assets folder. If we look in that assets folder, it's got audio and images, and there's that SVG of the shield. Oh, yeah. Doom digga 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 dom digga digga digga. Yeah, that was a great show. You know what I saw? We were talking about the Dark Crystal on a stream this week, either Tuesday or Thursday. I just saw that Netflix is coming out with like a prequel series of the Dark Crystal. That sounds so cool to me. So it's obviously reading those. Okay, so we can see those files. So that's a win, right? We won something today. Oh, wait the heck. It stopped though. Well, how is it serving up those overlays if this thing isn't running? See that? I mean, it's not running. Wait, is this the wrong PowerShell? So many PowerShells, so little time. Oh, that's it. That doesn't show him running. Failed to execute script Docker Compose. But somehow those chat overlays are still working. Okay. So, Robert Taylor's tried again. Hello, belligerent potato. Welcome. Who else is a mod? Carrie's a mod. Carrie's gone to sleep though. Oh, you know what? I think mine comes in like a mod. Test. There's the shield. So the shield it would have gotten from that shared folder because it's not in that directory anymore. It used to. The www root had an assets directory under it. So now in our AV commands, we should be able to read that. Yeah, thank you, Carrie. We should be able to read those audio files. So that's a big. I mean, to me, that's a big enough win for now. I don't have long until I've got to go, but I've got to be somewhere at 4. It takes me about 10 or 15 minutes to get there, and I've actually got to be there a little early. Oh, geez, how am I going to pronounce this? Is it Lee? Eve Lardies or Evil Arties? Is it Evil or Eve? Thank you for the follow. Regardless, let me know in chat how to pronounce your name. We strive to say everyone's name appropriately. And by appropriately, I just mean correctly. But here in Alabama, we struggle with words. So let me know how to pronounce your name correctly. But thank you for the follow so much. Yeah, take care of that headache. Yeah, geez, my head is really killing me. Do I keep rubbing it? I don't even realize it. Yeah, it's not just Ukrainian names that I'm struggling with today, Surly Dev. So now in our soundbite command, we can actually, one dependency on your implementation of volume is that you have to have the assets folder on the host machine. Yeah, that's true. I guess it depends on how we deploy it. So we're deploying it from a GitHub repo, and this folder will be there. Let me save that and serving assets from volume. So AV commands can access them. Let me see if I can do this without saying it out loud. To take your lashings. No, it's working. It's working just fine. So, Robert Tables, you didn't break anything. So, you see your overlays coming in there? It's got that shield over there on the far right of it. That shield is in that same assets folder. It's not just audio. When I copied the assets out there, I copied audio and images. So the only thing in that image is that shield SVG. So for it to be rendering that with that shield, it means that it's picking that up and getting it. So you didn't break anything. So now our chat and our overlay should have access to those MP3s. It worked, yeah. So now we'll just have to come into our AV commands and actually read into that folder, get the list of audios, and create commands for them. And that'll work perfectly. Gosh, I keep rubbing my head. I know, I'm sorry. My head is killing me. I don't know what deal is. It's kind of sinuses, I think. You might actually be a real dev. I just want to be a real boy. You can say only Emilio. My surname is difficult in Spanish. Emilio. I like that name. I've liked Emilio. I've loved that name ever since I watched Young Guns as a kid. Did you ever watch Young Guns? Young Guns is a great movie. But, of course, you got Emilio Estevez in that movie. Love Young Guns. Regulators! Didn't sound like that, I promise you. Let's see. Oh, you know what we need to do? Let's go ahead and do it in another repo. Or another PowerShell window. We push that up. Let's do G... Check out V next. Oh, there is no vnext. Okay, so we probably want to do that at some point. But so now we're good. Awesome. Very cool. So that's all working. I can't believe we got all that working. One day we'll be a real developer. So we had a lot of fun today. That was sick. That was so sick of them to join us, wasn't it? That is so cool of... yeah, Belligerent Potato. I've got to be somewhere in about 40 minutes. It takes me about 15 minutes to get there, and I probably need to be a little early. we had a lot of fun. Natalia Tepluhina. I'm not saying that right, but you know, she was here and did great. The girls did a great job interviewing her. It's cool to see the chats working as microservices. Are those credits generated automatically? Surly Dev, they are. Auto-magically. Those credits are created, so I don't have to keep up with them. You know, one thing we want to add to the bot too, Robert Tables, you'll appreciate this. We keep serious stream notes. So you can go to baldbeardedbuilder.com and see every stream with the stream notes, a replay link for that episode, that stream. But, you know, Clarkio has been working on some code that will automatically build some of that for us. And see you in the dining room, Lauren. I think we can add that in as a service, right? It can just let that service sit there and watch events, subscribe to the hub, watch events, and create that stuff for us. Yeah, I sure will, Rambling Geek. Let's see. Oh, I keep trying to wait for the credits to roll back around to say thank you to everybody, and every time I start talking about something else and forget it. Add a chatters section, Silly Dev. Thanks for supporting the stream. Robert Tables, Rambling Geek, C. Payette, Source Scoot, Chris Jones. Thank you guys so much for the cheers. Made our day. Moderators, that B3 bot was an excellent mod today. Carrie and Robert, as always, excellent. Followers, we got Emilio, I'm going to say. Rovnoski, Digital Drummer J, Kulu83, Three-Headed Monkey, Wolfhound Jesse, SBTW15. Did I miss that one? I think I missed that one. And then Source Scoot resubscribed. Source Scoot, Tuesday. It's on my list. We're going to open Tuesday with a song for Source Scoot. Yeah, you know what? And actually, Robert Tables, I thought about if we added another service for those stream note generation, kind of plagiarize what Clarkio's doing. They bounce around randomly now. Used to they bounce around kind of off the walls, but now they just kind of randomly jump around every which way. Robert Tables subscribed. I think it's too late for the thing to pick you up, isn't it? I could roll it again. Robert Tables, thank you for the subscription. 3 months. That means you lost a little bit of hair. But yeah, so the thought, Robert Tables, is we could create another service for that stream note, right? And let it just listen to the hub for followers, subscribers, raids, all that kind of stuff. And let it go to the Bald Bearded Builder repository on GitHub. On stream start, go create a branch with today's date. And then on that branch, create a new file for today's date. And then start building in all those things we can add to it. So sorry, Dev, we already do that. We already do that in our show notes. Follows, all these things you see in the credits over here, I record manually in Markdown. But it could create all that stuff for it. It could create all that, add it to the Markdown, and then when stream ends, it could save that Markdown file and do a commit, push it up, and then tell it to create a PR back against the master branch. And then I could go in there and add any kind of manual stuff I needed to add afterwards. And wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, I'm doing it manually right now. I keep Markdown up in Visual Studio Code in another window where I keep up with this stuff. So wouldn't that be cool, Robert Tables? Because we'll know when stream starts and stream ends, and let it automatically do all that magic stuff. It's okay. Yes, Belligerent Potato, please, and anyone, you can do a bang Discord in the channel to join, or right down here is a link to Discord. We are a lot of helpful people in our Discord. So join Discord. We can continue this conversation later. Monsieur. Oh, well, Frank's gone, Brett, so you can use English. Gotta say, this is one of your best streams today. Thank you, Robert Tables. I always enjoy it. Yeah, Belligerent Potato, you're already there, so feel free to ask questions. Yes, Brett, ping me. We want to do that in the next week or two. Yeah, it will. I gotta go take some Advil or something. And, geez, see, this is the problem. I enjoy talking to you guys too much, and I always end up late. Up until the first 28 minutes, surly dev. Surly as ever. Gosh, dog. Blizzard Potato, go catch the replay. The replay will be up in just a minute. We're going to highlight it so it sticks around a long time. That's a lot of head to hurt, too, isn't it? I mean, it's not like, yeah, Google services are down. I saw where Gmail's down and has been for a while. Y'all, I've got to quit squirreling. I've got to go. Thank you so much again for joining the stream today. Oh, we need to rate somebody. Jeez Louise. Can I be more all over the place? I'm blaming the headache. Sweet mother McCratty. Who do you want to raid? Yeah, who do you want to raid? Anybody got Lucky Number 11's on, Pseudo Kid, Gooseman's on, Laboratory 424. That's always a fun one. Codephobia, CM Griffin, Lana Lux, all those are on. Surly says Lana or Codephobia, Gooseman, do Goose. Do Goose? Okay, we'll do Goose. Talk to me, Gooseman. What is he working on? Sunday Fun Day, Phaser and chat. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna go raid the Gooseman. So stick around, we'll be joined over there. If you're a subscriber, don't forget about our cool raid emotes. And thanks again for coming. I can't tell you enough how much I enjoy hanging out with all of you. And we will see you on Tuesday at 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific, and 6 p.m. UTC. All right, thanks everybody. See you later.